Hello everybody, welcome to another Banter Blitz. My name is Jan Gustafsson. What else is there to say? I just woke up from a little nap, and I'm not sure how it works for you guys, but I'm slower than what's really slow starting than Windows Vista when it comes to, booting up. Therefore, I expect the first 5 minutes of this show to be extremely tough for all of us to get through. And that's probably a bad thing business-wise, because I've been told that with the millennials out there, if you don't catch them in the first 27 seconds, that's the cutoff, 27 seconds, then it's too late. Then they're off doing something else. There is no second chance for a first impression. And I feel sleepy. I feel that I should not wear a striped shirt because it's blinding everybody. And we in the industry, we do know that blinding people is not a great idea. My excuse for the striped shirt is that I'm very, very hurt. Look at this. I broke one of my fingers, so I can now look like Mr. Spock. For 1 month straight, I will be, first of all, whining about this relentlessly, and secondly, making live long and prosper bad jokes. Because I'm not, what do they call them? Trekkie? I'm not a Trekkie. I don't know stuff about Star Trek, but this is their symbol, right? I mean, it looks slightly different, but I think it's like this dinosaur. Domodon? Who's the chill out dinosaur that has this hand gesture? Please let me know. This is important stuff. This is, of course, Banter Blitz, the show where Chess24 premium members challenge me, a well-known chess grandmaster, to Blitz games, and then we talk about dinosaurs while we play the Blitz games. In order to participate, if you are a Chess24 premium member, challenge me. My username is Jan, Jan. If you're not a Chess24 premium member, you can become one. All you need to do is go to chess24.com, sign up for a free account, then upgrade that free account to a slightly less free, but worth it, premium account that gives you the right to challenge in all of these Banter Blitz shows. Watch all these video series, do all that good stuff, and then challenge good old Jan. Let's see if someone has gone through all these steps so that we can play a lovely game of chess. I don't know if anybody's still watching these shows and posting comments on YouTube, but if you are, this is your cue. Tell the people first game at 3 minutes 48 seconds. So they don't have to listen to this, I believe. That is a public service announcement everyone would be grateful about. And I'm really sleepy. Is there a patzer out there that would like to be a warm-up, let's call it victim? No, only strong challengers. So let's go with that. All right, here we go. And thanks for the outpouring of love, sympathy, concern about the hand. I don't have a glorious story. I already told it on, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday's Banter Blitz show with Jon Ludwig Hammer. That was great fun. I recommend you watching it because sometimes it's more fun to listen to two people not talking to each other, but talking after one another than just listening to one guy rambling. So I gave the whole heartbreaking story about me breaking my finger yesterday. It starts with me ordering these Adidas sneakers that are size 45 1/3 instead of my habitual 44 2/3. For our 3 American watchers, that's like, I don't know, 10.5 versus 11. So I have these sneakers. They're too big for me. In order to wear them, I need to wear 2 pairs of socks. In order to... No, there's no in order here. So I put on 2 pairs of socks. I walk down the stairs. In my mansion, obviously. I live in sort of a palace with a long, winded staircase leading down. I start, I don't know, yelling at my daughter while I'm going downstairs. I lose focus and grip because of the 2 pairs of socks, because there's not a lot of grip. I fall down the stairs. I heroically break the fall with my ring finger, but I also break that ring finger in the process. It's a long, heartbreaking story, just as me waiting for Vibio. No Vibio? Sorry, my dear boy. We'll play someone else. How about the undisputed Canadian chess champion? Undisputed 29. The other part I made up. By the way, I have a feeling I'm in my basement, not in the studio, because Jan Ludwig Hammer is there, slaving away. I have a feeling this side, looks very unclean. This is my good side. Who knew? Can I sit like this? Then I can't see the program or the board. Or maybe I should wash my face. Or put on makeup, as I usually do before the show. Undisputed 29. Are you there? Let's do this. What my Twitch boy is talking about. Ship it Hollaball is saying, I have no clue what he's talking about. That's the charm of this show. Is he talking about chess? Is he talking about himself? Those are the 2 options usually. Does he make sense? Is he serious? Is he tongue-in-cheek? Is he finger and case? You never know. It's the beauty. Good old King's Indian. The bane to my 1d4. Eduardo Panadero, not yet a premium member, but I'm sure he's considering it because he has all these questions like, hey Jan, do you consider yourself to be a fearsome and severe father? Very much so. I lead with a stern hand. Now, just one hand, but it's very stern. I told my daughter, the fact that I only have one good hand does not mean that it got any less stern. I told her, might as well call this hand Howard. That's how stern it is. That's what happened. Ship it Hollaball is saying, now I get it. I don't know what, but I'm glad we're on the same page. His Royal Doodling is saying he also got his Fap in hand. He's good. I don't know. I've heard of some unicorns out there. Some multi-talented people that use both hands for many activities. B6. B6 looks a little slow. Undisputed. I could try to refute it by going e5 or be all boring positional granddaddy and play d5. Eh. Okay. Harmcraft is saying, chess 24, what happened, Jan? Chest injury. I'm not sure if I can go on an infinite loop retelling the story that I just told. The short version is I ran into a burning building to save a starving kitten that also happened to be on fire. And while I did save that kitten, I did get severe 3rd level burns while in that building. But you know what? I would do it again every day of the week. and twice on Sundays. Sleepy Mario is saying Jan is such a hero. That's for others to say. That's not for me to say. If you think what I did was heroic or just civil duty, using my fearlessness, my great hand-eye coordination, my frankly sense of duty, that's for others to decide, not for me. If you want to call me a hero, I'm not going to correct you, but I'm not going to call myself that. And I like to believe, even though I do of course know that's not true, that many others would have done the same thing in my shoes. My size 11 Adidas shoes that I blame for all these things. Mishok is saying, Jan, when did you become Grandmaster? I don't know. It's been a while. Not that young in age. I would guess 2003. That's my guess. Anyway, thanks for repeating the question, because otherwise I would never have recalled. Was never really a goal of mine. It's sort of similar to me saving that kitten. I felt it was something that was going to happen eventually. Just as I kept running into burning buildings, I also thought I do have this 2570 rating for the last 3 years. Probably at some point I'm going to make another GM run. So yeah, I think these stories are closely connected. As for this game, I managed to take an exchange, which is good. Because rooks, in my book at least, are worth more than horses. Most people would say a rook is like 5 points. Horsey is like 3 points till 3.25 points. So rooks are better. Mishok is saying, LOL, I wasn't even born in 2003. Neither was I. This is not really a good move. But it's sort of showy and pretentious, which is something that you don't see much of this show on the show. And I'm trying to add a little variety. So see, it forces resignation just when he had a chance to continue the game with knight to c2, undisputed 29. There you go. Harmcraft saying 2003. Wow, you must have been like 10 years old. Oh, I was 7. I was a bit of a chess prodigy. I was already 5 times Vietnamese chess champion at that age, if I remember correctly. So let's play another game. Maybe against Evans. Evans, are you there? Seriously, my biggest complaint about this thing is I tweeted that. If you happen to not follow me on Twitter, what are you doing with your life? I tweet like once a month, and usually it's promoting some Chess24 nonsense, but sometimes it's something else. So follow at GM Jan Gustafsson on Twitter, because I still do not have 20,000 followers. And I believe my life would be so much better. I would finally feel fulfilled if I reached that number. I could stop trying to fill that giant hole in my soul with likes and follows if I just got to exactly 20,000. Also, Evans, where are you? Are you there? Rufflestomp is asking, ouch, what happened to your hand? Yeah, thanks for asking. I haven't addressed this on today's show yet. So the true story is that I tried to get into a little bit of chess boxing. Maybe I shouldn't have started in the heavyweight division, but I felt with my superior boxing skills and my about average chess skills, I should be able to take on another heavyweight. And if you look at my face, it did go kind of okay. But at some point I was doing one of my fearsome left, right, left, the military step combinations, and I hit the other guy so hard that I broke 2 fingers on his nose, which with hindsight, probably I should not have done this. He did play f3, e5, g4, so maybe I could have decided that a chess boxing fight over the chessboard as well, but I thought, hashtag YOLO, I can only punch him in the nose once, and therefore I did this to my hand. Thanks for asking. And we are playing the Carocam. Evan went for the 2 knights, which is a system that I quite enjoy. I usually don't play knight f6. I usually play bishop g4 or a6. Knight f6 is a very playable move though. d4 is rare here. I'm not 100% sure why. It looks like a decent move. Most people play knight e2 or bishop e2. So let us go here. Banter Chess is suspecting that Lawrence Trent was my challenger. Oh, this is like a trap line. Wow, maybe probably my opponent's not really 1530, huh? Time to start paying some attention then. No, it was heavyweight. Lawrence Trent. He's a very strong man, but he's not exactly a heavyweight boxer, I would say. This looks bad for me. Vibio is saying, Jan, have you ever learned to play a blitz game with some not title players? Have you ever happened to play a blitz game with some not title player and learn something interesting? I don't know. I'm at war with the concept of conscious learning. If I was a better storyteller and I was able to make up stuff like how I got these scars on the fly, then I could probably think of some story of this great lesson I learned from a blitz game. But my honest belief is that most of our learning is done subconsciously. I should probably read one of these smart people's books like this Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow. But I believe, yeah, we just do stuff and then our limbic system puts stuff together in some way that we hope makes sense. Therefore, I do not have a lot of like conscious aha learning effects. And I do believe most people don't. I think people make them up to write books or stories or teach, but I don't really believe them. Therefore, I don't have a lot of like aha moments in blitz games against title players or not, other than darn, I should have studied this line, or darn, I wish I knew rook endings. That kind of stuff. Harmcraft is saying, is this Jan's patented stuff is happening, let's trade everything strategy? Kind of. It was more my patented, let's not pay any attention to the game, then, ooh, e6, duk, 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 let's pay some attention to the game, and then, ooh, bishop e2, maybe he does not know what he's doing after all, so let's stop paying attention to the game again strategy. I think that's a fair description of what went down here. Undisputed 29 is saying, Jan, I have a very important question for you. Finally, an important question. In your opening clinic, you recommended to look more at d4 or e4 versus f4. Huh? On the other hand, the Dutch is considered playable for black. By whom? Magnus Carlsen. What is the difference between these two openings, and why is the Dutch considered more playable than the bird's opening? It's not. They're both fairly terrible. The thing is, with white, some people like fighting for an opening advantage, and usually these people like to start the game with d4, e4, c4, knight f3, or g3. While with black, it's hard to fight for an opening advantage, so there sometimes people want to create imbalances. There are two schools of thought, and also those two schools can exist in the same person, depending on your opponent. One is you play solidly, you try to equalize with the black pieces, which is a very valid approach, but sometimes at higher levels you risk a sort of bloodless draw if you do that. So the other approach is, let's unbalance the game quickly, and for that purpose d4, f5 can very well be used in spite of, objectively, obviously you should probably try to develop some pieces instead of weakening your king on move 1 and not developing pieces. But f5 can lead to an unbalanced position, which is harder to get with black. That's why the Dutch is more popular, I would say, than one f4, because with white it's not that much of a challenge to get an unbalanced position. There's really no reason to move your f-pawn up the board to do so. Hope that made sense. If not, that made some sense, come on. For my standards, that was a very chessy explanation. Spy Guy is saying, floats like a butterfly, stings like a bishop. As for this game, I thought Evans was bad at chess, and I relaxed again. Now I'm starting to think maybe he's not that bad at chess after all, and I should stop relaxing. By the way, is it just me? Or do you guys, when you hear the word relaxing, do you also instantly think of the lyric, he said he liked my necklace and started relaxing? That's what the F I call a chain reaction. Probably it's just me. Lean back. Time to move to my patented stuff's happening, let's exchange everything strategy. Was that what he called it? I think that's what he called it. And he's not wrong. Queen c5 though, I didn't succeed in exchanging everything. I did succeed in weakening my position a bit. I still can't tell if you're good at chess or not, Evans. It's like you make one good move, then one bad move, then one good move. It's very confusing. Which one is it? Well, I consistently make mediocre to bad moves. So there you know what you're dealing with. So, what's happening in the world? That coronavirus, huh? Are you guys scared? Or are you scared your stocks are gonna keep dropping? Or are you scared on behalf of older relatives? Or do you finally see it as an opportunity to see fellow human beings as the kind of unpleasant source of germs that we always did consider them as, but we weren't allowed to say it openly until now? Those are my feelings. As for the position, don't like it. Rook g4. Rook d4. I have the feeling something's hanging. Okay, I'm gonna have to speed up a little. Wow. Without any thought? Take? That's scary. Now you think. This is all so confusing. I'm very confused by you Evanescence. I didn't like bishop e4. I might just be winning now. Probably the truth is that he's a decent player, like 2100, 2200. He's just making moves like everyone else, trying to get ahead in this life. Why didn't I keep that b pawn? That was kind of really ridiculous. Because now it's gonna feel bad to flag him. Well, had I kept the b pawn, you know, just your average day at the flag store. Now I'm gonna feel all dirty and guilty and dead inside after I flag him, which is really not the feeling you want after a good flag job. See. Does not feel good. Sorry, Evanescence. Faggy is saying, Jan, I crushed P-Svidi. Have you seen this game? No, I have not. Anyway, very good game by Evans. Okay, I need a weaker opponent. What about old Swede? Area 51 is saying, we are scared to see 12 draws in World Cup Championship. You mean the World Championship match? Just for chess lingo, the World Cup is a different tournament than the World Championship match. I'm sure you are scary of that too, Jan. There's 14 games, so 12 draws, like I would call progress. But, nah, not that scared. I think they beefed up the format to give us, the people, more blood. And them poor seconds, whoever they might be, more work. I think it's 3 games without a rest day in a row, where it used to be 2 games. It's 14 games in the same time span. So the players will be even more exhausted, even more punch drunk. Just like me after that UFC match in which I broke my fingers. As for this position, this is, typical Magnus Carlsen type of setup. Put the pawns on c5, e5, then knight e7, d6, I think. There was this guy called Bot Winnick, who was not a bot, in spite of what people said about him, who pioneered the setup, and Carlsen has used it to devastating effect with both colors in the year 2019. Old Swede, that's a German thing. We say Alter Schwede, which basically is used to express surprise in the words of the formerly popular hip-hop artist Kollega, before he decided to become sort of a cult leader. He used to say, ich komme aus Kanada, doch die Leute sagen, now what did he say? Ich komme aus Kanada, doch die Jungs sagen, alter Schwede, hier kommt Kollega, der Besitzer der Alpha-Gene. I think those words. I say alter Schwede once in a while, even though I usually say alter Lachs, which is not as common as alter Schwede. And it means old salmon. While old alter Schwede obviously means old Swede. I read up the reason for that expression at some point, but I forgot. Something with the 30-year war or something? Swedish dudes would age. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I'm doing great here against old Swede. Area 51 is asking, Jan, who do you think will win the candidates tournament? I think that this young man that used to represent Italy then went to represent the USA. Fabiano Caruana is the favorite, I believe. Ding Liren, who's sort of considered the co-favorite, will have troubles with both Caruana and Corona in his preparations. And Caruana, unlike Corona, left Italy and didn't just go there. So I don't think he will be very affected by it. And yeah, that's pretty much my Caruana material. So I do consider him the favorite. Thanks for the game, old Swede. All right, let's play. Let's play one of you toughies. Where my toughies at? Ilya Joker, international chess master. The jokester. Vasilius is saying, hey Jan, speaking about the candidates tourney, how about Jan Ludwig Hammer as a commentator? I think he is brilliant. Could not disagree more. No, kidding. I do agree that Hammer is great. I had so much fun with him on yesterday's Banter Blitz. I think his opening series are great. You should check those out. As for the candidates commentary, I think I'm still supposed to be very quiet about everything. But thanks for the mention. I wasn't aware that Hammer had that many fans. And I was right about the old Swede thing. The end of the 30-year war, Friedrich Wilhelm from Brandenburg, blah, blah, blah. Got some trained experience for Swedish soldiers as teachers for his army, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. I don't really speak German, so hard to translate. Oh, this is a good player. I should pay attention. Stop talking nonsense. Ilya Joker and take this pawn. How does stuff go again? He's thinking. A6, not exactly a novelty, Ilya. What are you thinking about? I've been thinking about... Rook d1. Can you do that? I'm not a very complex, what's the word? Human being. So I see a pawn. Can I go c6 here? What do people do in such situations? I'll keep the pawn. I see a pawn, I try to keep it. The things people do. Is this a thing? Doesn't look that scary to me somehow. Knight b4, for example. I could play like queen d6. Okay, I've been a little slow. I should try to win this game in order not to not be in a horrible mood. Which I will be in a second because I just blundered queen takes c7. Oh, come on, Jan, focus a little bit. I love saying I should try to do this and that and then blunder the entire piece set. So idiotic. Yeah, great speech. Focus, try not to blunder everything. Boom, there go all my pieces. Sorry for continuing, Ilya Joker. I know it's a little rude, but I'm tilted now. Annoyed. So dumb. Anyway, just one piece. Yeah, that's why you tune into the show. All the high level chess. That line looks so dumb, though. I do not believe that line at all. Did you calculate some chess masterly stuff like I can't take on b3 because my queen doesn't have any squares? That'd be upsetting. Looks like it did. Yeah, this is pretty hopeless, isn't it? Yeah, not clear what I can hope for here, which is sort of understandable since I am a piece down. There should not be too much to hope for. Other than that piece down problem, I think I'm doing great. But it is a bit of an issue. It's gonna be hard to overcome in the long run. Short term can certainly be overcome, but long term he also keeps making good moves, which does not exactly make things easier for me. I don't mean to criticize that, but come on, give me a bit of a chance. This is Banter Blitz, ladies and gentlemen, the show where I expertly explain all these great chess moves that I'm making. Knight f3, how hard can it be, Mr. Ilya? All right. Show me the money. My king is a little tarped. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Ladies, gentlemen. Oh, here we go. The winning maneuver is being initiated. Good job, Ilya. I was all wrong. You do know what you're doing. Huh? Almost know what you're doing? Kinda know what you're doing? Do you? Do you really know what you're doing? Bad pre-move. Ooh, so close. That was stupid. Good job, Ilya Joker. Did not see Bishop D7 coming. That's a pity. So close. Good game, sir. Well-deserved victory. Oh, boy. Still annoyed. So close. How many moves was it? Those were quite some moves. 55 till 95. 40 moves. I could have hung on for another 10. That's a pity. Anyway, good game. All right. Who shall we play next? What about Rheinpfeil? The arrow from the Rhine. Rheinpfeil, what's up? D4. I shall go D5. This is called the Notebaum variation. I don't think it's great, but it's one of these lines that I usually forget everything about every couple of years. Bishop D2. What am I supposed to do? A5? I used to play like Queen B1 or some dumb move somewhere around here. E4, do you go B5? I guess you go B5. I think E3 is more common. I could be wrong. Because now I'm hitting that pawn, which I wouldn't if I had he played E3. I'm gonna guess that's the difference. B3 knight F6 was probably even stronger. Yeah, I should pay more attention. Because now D5 is not so clear. Yeah, knight F6 was much better. Ugh, come on, Jan. Please, try to focus. You will get yourself into more trouble with these actions. Let's get some pieces out. By pieces out, I mean castle. This looks aggressive, but you could argue that the white position is maybe a little overextended. He has not managed to castle yet, and this center is not going to be so easy to maintain. It's unclear. I don't know what's going to happen after, let's say, d6. But I think black should be okay. Queen d4. Did not see that move. Probably a good move, actually. Yeah, it's a good move. Don't really see anything better than taking on d4, but I don't enjoy it that much. Uh-oh. I can feel the steam coming. Because my position is bad and I'm annoyed. Castles. That I'm surprised by. A2, rook f2, rook a3. Let's see what happens. It felt to me like he should keep his king somewhere close to the center, like king d2. Rook a3, bishop f5 I didn't like, so I changed my mind. Decided to go here. Can't say I'm thrilled about this, but it feels kind of important to keep the pawn on a2 on my team. Now at least it got a little weird. g6 just to rule out any bishop h7s, give myself a luft, and to make a move. So here we are. f5. That can't be right. Sir. Should take. I don't know what to do. I'll take. Gee, it's another surprise. I thought he should and would play fe. Maybe fg is not so bad. Sorry, I'm so quiet. I'm still, first of all, I'm in painstaking pain because of this car accident it got into earlier, which messed up my finger. Secondly, I'm really annoyed that I blundered that piece earlier against Ilya. What's happening in the chat? Mr. Dodgy is saying, I've been waiting my whole life to play. To play what, Mr. Dodgy? Don G is saying, car accident. No, I lied. Mishok is saying, Jan, can you accept my challenge after, please? I'm already waiting for more than an hour. Sorry to hear that. The thing is, Mishok, I'm assuming that everyone who challenged me would like to play, and therefore I prefer to choose randomly, and normally I don't favor people that also express that wish in the chat multiple times. So I hope you understand that reasoning. But I do strongly believe that, especially over time, everyone gets a chance to play, because we do not discriminate by rating on this little program, but I slightly discriminate that I always play people first if I see one that I've never played before, like Stewie0013, who I will mercilessly crush. Wow. Whose fault was the car accident? Actually, I was speeding a little bit because I was on my way to that burning building from which I was gonna save the kitten. And that cop car trying to block me from getting there in time. It was, it was a judgment call I did have to make. Did I regret it? No. Would I try to spare the cops in the future in order to save that kitten? Yes. We are playing. Stewie has mastered the fine arts of the hippopotamus. Not to be confused with the hippopotamus, who is one part of that scary hip-hop duo, the hippopotamus and the rhinoceros. They call me the hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless. But in chess, the hippopotamus is this setup, which I don't know why they call it. That doesn't really look like a hippopotamus. The problem is, Stewie, of course you can execute that. First of all, it's not that good, but that doesn't matter. The bigger problem is I don't think you will progress very much in chess if you just keep doing that and then hope for the best. It's better to, move the pieces around a little bit, go for more confrontation in the center, to learn different types of positions, learn about tactics, like do not hang all your pieces like I did earlier, because then you'll be unhappy and cranky. So I would advise you to try to master another line than the hippopotamus, even though I know it's tempting, because we can build all these things while hardly looking at what our opponent will do. But I would suggest try to study a different opening as well. One or two. Ordinary Twitch name is saying that kitten wouldn't have done the same for you. But isn't that what we love about cats? They clearly don't respect us. But it does not stop us from trying to want to hang out with them. I'm sure this point has been made before and more eloquently, but cats are a lot like girls that are way out of our league, right? Their rejection does not stop us from fancying them. Girls or boys, don't cancel me, please. Mishorg is asking, Jan, who performs better in Banter Blitz, you or Laurent? Depends on your definition of performing. That's what she said, at least. I would say... No, I wouldn't say that. I would say me. No, but different Banter Blitzers are doing different things. That's what makes the format so versatile. Some people focus more on, teaching chess. Some people focus more on entertaining. Some people focus more on making up stories about how they got these scars. Everyone has a different approach. And I believe that's the beauty. That what one Banter Blitzer or viewer likes, the other doesn't have to. There's a little something out there for everyone. Unless you want, entertainment and good chess. Magnus, maybe. No, but Laurent is a very strong chess player and a very entertaining fella. So I strongly recommend his show. I mean fella as in dude, not as in Sebastian Fella, just to avoid misunderstandings. Here against Stewie, I'm doing pretty well. But that is because I've been doing this for a long time, as is evident if I play someone 1,000 points, 2,000 points lower rated. Sometimes I lose on time, but usually I make it. Bike Boy is asking, Jan, can anyone learn to play blindfold? How do you visualize the board? The truth is, once again, it's one of these unsatisfying answers. But I do not know. I think every Grandmaster can play blindfold because it's a big part of chess, no? To look at the board and calculate without actually moving the pieces is in a way playing blindfold. Also, at least me, and I think many people grew up reading chess books or magazines where in order to follow the action, a big part of it is kind of going blindfold. So I can close my eyes and I see a bit of a chessboard in front of me. It's not really a chessboard with wooden pieces. It's more schematic and I can't really see it. But that part is easier for me. That's why it's sort of easier if I'm blindfolded and someone tells me the moves than what we've been doing recently in this challenge against Laurent, where we play on this Chess24 board with the hidden pieces, which is this setting. How does this go? Settings. Hide all pieces, and you only see the arrows. It shouldn't be a different skill set, but I haven't been that used to it, so it took some adjusting. It's easier for me to close my eyes and I can sort of visualize that blurry chessboard. But yeah, I think everyone can learn it. I know very few strong chess players that can't play blindfold. Of course, it's to a big extent a question of focus, which is why in some way I play better in these blindfold shows because I'm so focused on the game. While here I'm focused on talking nonsense. But yeah, I believe the more you learn about chess, the blindfold skills will come sort of automatically with it. Let's play a game against Bogdan Giermasea. Galactic is saying, by the way, did Pepe give up? I don't know. I haven't seen any of Pepe's blindfold shows. I think he's been teasing that his would start soon, but I do not know. The race is still on, though. Neither Laurent or I have reached 2800, which marks the end of it. So everyone is still welcome to join. We're playing a Grunfeld here against Bogdan Giermasea. He's saying hello. Hello, sir. Plays Rook B1. Rook B1 is, in a way, a strange line because you have to know 15 different black systems. But it is, of course, one of the most critical lines. Bishop D2 instead of Queen D2. Supposed to be somewhat more critical, but that involves sacrificing a pawn. Well, Queen D2, of course, is a safer choice. Ria Taman is saying, Jan, what did you do to hammer? The more appropriate question here is, what did a hammer do to my fingers? I don't know. You master counting cards in the Hamburg casino, and no one tells you the things they will do to you in that back room. Then you come out like this. Not even like this. With fingers looking like mashed potatoes. You have to go through a painstaking operation for your underground doctor to put them back together. Bebo 1907 saying, Jan, how many challenges are on your list? I don't know. Let's have a look. There are a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Ugh, and now I've scrolled like around halfway down, so I would guess around 30 maybe. What's this position? Rook C8? F5? I don't know how to play chess. Knight B4? No, Knight B4, Rook C7. I don't like. Maybe Rook C8. Mr. Dodgy is saying, mastered counting cards. We've seen you count pawns. That is true. I've also listened a lot to, what's the band called? Counting Crows. So I do think I have some expertise in the counting business. Knight b4. Now the band's name, no? Knight b4. F5. This is one of those, what I think in the business they call 3-minute games. So I should make a move every now and then. e6 looks very wrong. It's not typical. You can't decide between knight b4 and f5. So you play e6. Time to scratch that nose. That's another big worry of mine. I'm not even kidding. I am worried about that. Since I can't really wash this hand anymore, but I will still touch my face with it constantly. Does that make me more vulnerable to the coronavirus? I think it does. And it scares me. Like, not terribly, but slightly. Not even lying. That's what I asked the doctor this morning. How do I wash my hands? It's Corona time, doctor. And he said, sorry, your problem. I do hands. c1. I guess I take. I could also give a check. And then take on a2. Nah. Take the pawn. No e5. It's actually not that clear. So upsetting if things aren't that clear. "42 seconds. So time to speed up a little bit. Check. Yes, stuff to think about. It's a flag job. Ladies, move. Gentlemen, move. Sorry, Bogdan. Good game. Bibu1907 is saying, Jan, if the coronavirus plays chess, what rating do you think it has? I think it is yet to be proven, but he seems like a fairly resilient, aggressive player. Has won tournaments on at least 5 continents. And therefore, I would guess he's pretty good. And as someone who's excessively played Plague Inc., I would somewhat criticize his strategy of not spreading, a little under the radar. The world, I think at this point, it's fair to say, is fairly aware of the coronavirus. So maybe I would have gone for a somewhat more low-profile spread and try to infect everybody first without making the headlines. But since it's been around for a while and we do not seem to really speed up finding that cure, maybe it doesn't matter, and this brute force approach that Corona is using is also working, so it's possible we should not count it against him. Joshua A is wondering, Jan, who will win in Alireza versus Laurent? I have talked about this. I've talked about this yesterday. I do consider Alireza the favorite, but that's because I'm blessed with this thing called reading comprehension when you look at blitz ratings and ages and so on. But Laurent, The one thing people do not understand about Laurent, he is a great games player. He usually finds a way to compete, even when facing impossible odds. Like, he's in a foreign country, there's no white bread, he finds a way to eat. He is not easily discouraged. He's surprisingly good at football, at other games like poker. So I would not rule it out. I think it works against him that it's 3-0. I believe it was 5-0 or 3-2. He would have a bigger chance because I don't think his mouse skills are as good as Ali Reza's, who I'm sure has played a lot of Blitz and Bullet recently on the internet, while Laurent's days of doing that regularly are probably a little behind him. So I do think that Ali Reza is a big favorite. Anything more than, let's say, 3, 4, 5 points would be a great result for Laurent. Having said that, I believe we have a promotion. What's called Fresh Points. If you get a 1-year Chess24 premium subscription on chess24.com/premium and at checkout you use the voucher code Fresh Points, then I believe you do get 1 free extra month for every point that Laurent scores. And my internal complaints that that's horrible value for money, it should be 1 extra month per draw, were ignored. That's a thing. Voucher code Fresh Points. But yeah, Firouzja is very strong, so of course Laurent is an underdog there. But as mentioned, I do respect his, I don't know what the word is, his pure games playing prowess. Queen f6 is a thing, no? I've seen something like this. Maybe it was even my repertoire in the very old days to take with the queen. Mishok is asking, Jan, did you already play Tactics Frenzy? Yeah, I played, I'm not sure if it was the public version or a beta version, but I got a little hooked. Like a week ago, I played a lot. I mainly played this beginners thing because, you know, I don't like tough challenges. And I tried to do as many as possible. I can't recall my number. It was like 150, somewhere there. I was pretty pleased with myself, but I don't think it was the high score. So yeah, I did try that product from our friends at Play Magnus, but I have no idea what's good, what's normal, the ratings and all that stuff. And Chess Blitz 35. How can I do bad things to you? Maybe try to pin you? I'm in it to pin it. And that does not discourage me. I do want to do bad things to you, Chess Blitz 35. And not in a true blood kind of way. Speaking of true blood, I listened to this Joe Rogan podcast with that dude, what's his name? Aubrey de Grey. Anti-H dude. He's not into H. And even though I didn't really buy it, I haven't read up on it. But he said that we have a shot in, like, if we hang in there for another 17 years to finally live for 500 years. Is that a good thing? World full of vampires? Maybe it's a good thing. And I would think that all these rich, I watched that on Silicon Valley, so I'm assuming it's true. All these rich tech entrepreneurs, they should be very focused on stopping aging, no? Is that the next thing? We just all become 500 years old? I didn't really buy it. But if anybody knows stuff about it, please let me know. Or don't. And I have a good position here. Can you imagine, like, you live 500 years, but you have to do Banter Blitz for 480 years in a row? That would actually be kind of fun. The question is, would I be improving? Like, if we manage to live 500 years, would the decline no longer start at, let's say, 25, but instead at 460? I have so many questions. Thanks for the game, Chess Blitz 35. Raffaello says he was also weird on the podcast. He said how he daily takes his pills for $100 a piece. I missed that part. But looked like 30 being 50. Yeah, he's in his 50s, right? And he said his biological age was 40 something ish. But he also said he drinks a lot of beer, does not drink a lot of water. So it wasn't exactly my definition of anti-aging stuff. It was interesting, but I didn't really buy it. And I think it's a good product to sell, no? Eternal youth. Go premium on chess24.com. Hashtag FreshPoints. No, voucher code FreshPoints. And you shall live forever. Disclaimer. This is not an official Chess24 plug. Mr. Doshi is saying the route to immortality by a functional alcoholic. Yeah. Joshua A is saying, Jan, what do you think about Isipenko? Will he be 2700 soon? Same for Jordan. I can't say I'm intimately familiar with Isipenko's game, but usually it's a pretty good bet if you have a... Sorry, I'm making up the numbers. I'm assuming he's like 18 and 2670. Usually you don't bet against them reaching 2700. As for Jordan, fantastic player. Sleepy Mario is saying, when I was a kid, I was reading about eternal youth that was going to be found soon. Now, 40 years later, it's still the same. Yeah, that's sort of my feeling too. Even my boy Aubrey, he said that 20 years ago his number was 25 years. Now it's down to 17 years. I don't know. It sounded like a great business idea. You know, give me money so I can fix aging. Ugh. I like it. Give me pawns so I can fix not winning games. Joshua A is saying he's 17. Yeah. Still wouldn't bet against him. Pirinos Floga is saying, who do you think will win to Cantatans? The candidates, I talked about this earlier, where I said, you know, many people believe in Fabiano Caruana, but I believe Ding Liren. It's Ding time. Fabi, you know, he just has it too good. He's living the life in St. Louis. He has everything at his fingertips. His luxury mansion, girls, playmates, friends, movie dates, food, drink, money. While Ding is sitting in his parents' apartment, not being allowed to go out because of the coronavirus. And he's literally gonna be so hungry having spent all that time on chess that nothing can stop Ding. I believe that was exactly my reasoning when I was asked about candidates earlier. I should stop lying all the time. I'm gonna lose credibility. I do believe Caruana is the favorite. Stewie0013 is saying, I'm most curious about how one damages those two specific fingers. I have a feeling you're not that familiar with finger damage, Stewie. The thing is, if you mess up one of your fingers, like I did, in my case, my ring finger, often they kind of attach it to an adjacent finger so that it can't, wiggle around and doing this so that it's stabilized by the other finger. So all I did was, trouble. All I did was hurt my ring finger. My little finger is just as important as it was on Game of Thrones. Haha. What time is it? I feel like I've been streaming for 8 hours straight. But turns out it's only been 80 minutes. So I'll play 2 more games. And then I don't know what I'll do. I just don't know. Let's play Galois. Galois Blonde. Liberté, toujours. I smoked a lot of red Gaulois in the old days when I was smoking cigarettes, which you should not do, kids. It leads to sort of ashy skin. Some people even say that it's bad for your health and it costs money. Also nowadays, I think that's probably one thing we did right as a society. It's no longer kosher to smoke, is it? What do you do here? Bishop d3, you can take rook c1, somebody moves. Take. What's the line? Bishop? Beer delivery guy is wondering, will your injury keep you from signing with the Warriors for the playoff run? The Warriors playoff run? That's not happening, is it? I don't think that's happening. Warriors, if you want to sign me to a 5-year deal, my injury is a lot less severe than Kevin Durant's. So just do it. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but you can probably tell by my moves. I don't want to lose, though. So it's this eternal conflict between thinking and losing that I've talked about in great detail in the past. I don't like this position very much. Is this a move? I like it. Good move, Jan. I'm very pleased with this move. My point is CB-AB, bishop d3, queen d3, queen b4, rook hb1, is trapping the queen. Isn't that amazing? Of course, he can avoid queen trappage by CB-AB, bishop d3, queen d3, queen d5, or queen h5 or whatnot. But then I can play b5 and I can say, I have a good position, sir. Wondering if I have something better after queen h5. Like queen e4 is a move. g4 could be a move. It's queen d5, fair enough. Do I play e4 or still b5? c1 maybe? Not sure. I have a feeling he shouldn't take. Knight g5, some active move. But it's just a feeling. I've got a peaceful, easy feeling. Gorsgri saying the cigarettes are called Gauloise. Gauloise is a famous mathematician. He's known for all that nicotine math. I'm sure he was blonde. That mathematician. Galois blonde. What's this position? I feel like I messed up a bit, but I am no stranger to that feeling. I did mess up a bit though. Ugh. Such a pity. After such a good game for my standards, I had to do all this messing up. Knight d3 or no knight d3? That is the question. He says no knight d3, which is fair enough. I haven't mastered the watch wearing with the thing yet. This is a creepy angle. Horsey? Bonilla is saying he was a math dealer. Like Walter White. Tactics. Never backfires when I try to do tactics. My point is rook a7, knight e7, and hopefully it's checkmate or something. Dutch defender is wondering, Jan, how long will that have to stay on? 4 weeks, aka 1 month. I didn't really think this through, did I? Probably not. Knight e7, queen f8. It's kind of what we're hoping for. Or rook e7, queen f8. That's even prettier. Wow. I checkmated someone. Ugh. Now. One more game. Atlanta Gambit is saying, my associate doctor. First of all, That's a thinly veiled brag. Congratulations, Atlanta Gambit. Saying, my associate doctor has the same fracture as from falling from his bike. Now he can't do surgery. I have the same problem. Like, I'm not a doctor. I have to add that disclaimer once in a while. But I do enjoy doing a little surgery every now and then. But now I just don't feel good about it with just one hand. So, no surgery for a month. No working out, which is very annoying. And possibly I have to figure out how to shower. Full disclosure, I haven't showered today yet because of the thing. I guess I can sort of hold my hand out of the shower, or I can jump into the bathtub and, keep the hand out of it. Or I might just, go stinky for a month. Stinky at the brain. So those are the choices. And let's play one more. One last chess game. And Rafael is saying that finish was finish. Yeah, thank you. I did have second thoughts somewhere here when I realized that he can play, let's say, h6. I'm not sure what this position is. That was not part of the master plan. He might have some play here. Might be okay for black. Anyway, let's play another game. And Mishok saying, Jan, will you play bullet for the 18,000th time? And this time, I think I'm going to answer that question with a no. No bullet. Let us play one last game against Axel Farid. Joshua A is saying, and your Gucci for showering. Just put a plastic bag around it. Ah, yeah, that can be done. Goes F4. Good old Axel. Fix it with some rubber band. Thanks, that's good advice, Joshua A. I have to ask though, are you a doctor? Like Atlanta Gambit has already bragged about being a doctor, so we know that. But can I trust your medical showering opinion, Joshua A? I think I'll trust you. I think the doctor also told me, hold your hand out or put a plastic bag around it, which are instructions that I am used to getting, not normally when it comes to showering. Come on, that was not that funny, but decent. Mr. Dodgy is saying he's not a doctor, just a man very experienced with plastic bags. I respect plastic bags, even though I feel plastic bags, they've taken a similar turn to smoking cigarettes. No longer accepted on the main streets of Hamburg, Germany suburbs. You do not want to be seen with a plastic bag coming out of a supermarket. Bring your little thingy, your little hemp thingy, or your little paper thingy. Do not plastic bag it up. Ferric is saying, I'm a doctor in Spain. I think that's technically still a doctor, if it's true. I don't trust you, Ferric, because you have Magnus Carlsen as your profile picture, which is not what doctors do. Is that true? Maybe that is what doctors do. And Spearmint72, wow, greetings to the Spearmint Rhino. I'm assuming that's why he chose that name. Is saying plastic bags are now restricted in New York City too, I think. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. I wasn't hating. Sleepy Mario saying doctors are my mortal enemies. Wow, that's a bit strong. Midnight Fox is asking what happened to his hand. A fox bit him. Yeah, I told the story earlier on the broadcast. I live in the suburbs of Hamburg. It's barely even Hamburg, and the woods are very, very nearby. It's like 500 meters from my house. I am in the woods, and normally I'm pretty comfortable even at night going for a little walk through the woods. But last night I heard some barking in the distance, so naturally I tried to get to the source of it while I was walking through the woods at around midnight. And as I approached and I thought, oh, must be a doggy, turned out it was not a doggy, it was a wolf. And as we all know, wolves only hunt in packs because they fear humans. So I ran into a pack of wolves. I managed to fight off the first three, but the fourth jumped, sort of blindsided me, jumped from behind and started biting my little and ring finger and just would not let go. I was kicking him and hitting him with my other hand, and I think I put up enough of a fight that the rest of the wolf pack abandoned us. But that guy, he was just blind with rage. I'm not sure what was wrong with that wolf, frankly, but he kept going after my two fingers. And therefore, I would say I won the fight, but these fingers I will not be able to use for a while. Sleepy Mario saying, yeah, wolves and foxes are essentially the same thing. That's not true. Wolves operate in packs. Foxes are lone wolves. Oh, I have 41 seconds. Time to speed up. Glorious victory. Oh no, use that queen. Thanks for the game, Axel Farid. And that brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you for watching. Fishwater saying, Jan is, I notice, growing fangs. Nah, it's not even close to midnight yet. I do have a little vampire tooth, but now that I know that we're very close to becoming 500 years old, maybe it's a good thing. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. There's, of course, more on Chess24. There's always more. On Thursday, there is the big one. It's the match Ali Reza versus Laurent Fressinet. If you believe in Laurent and you have been thinking about becoming a premium member, fun way to sweat that matches, get that 1-year premium membership, use the voucher code FRESSPOINTS and you get 1 month added to your membership for every point that Laurent scores. So should he win the match, you get 8.5 free month. There you go. There's also my opening clinic still going on Thursday, 3 p.m. I believe. I have a Banter Blitz show tomorrow in German. I have no idea what time. Probably the same time, 6 p.m. So there's that. Other than that, a lot of preparations are going on for the candidates. Jon Ludwig Hammer is in the studio recording. Life goes on in Chess24 land. Thank you guys for joining. Mixer is asking, Jan, what happened to your fingers? Thanks for asking. I was worried no one would ask at all during this story. The truth is, I fell down the stairs. and I broke my ring finger, which, yeah, is not glamorous, but it's what happened. See you guys next time.